Thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education in both the stock market and cryptocurrency worlds. See the links in the description of this video for more information on our two courses, Entries and Exits on the Fundamentals of Technical Analysis, as well as our new course on Trading Cryptocurrency Strategy. Purchase both and receive a 20% off bundle discount. Thanks for checking us out. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Howdy crypto friends. So we had a fairly eventful day in the sense that there was some trading opportunity with Bitcoin and we had some hype, and as the thumbnail of this video suggests, we need to be cautious not to be buying into hype and basing our decisions off of it. That being said, we need to be aware of hype and able to react to it. But we went into today knowing what was coming with the Amazon earnings, knowing the rumors that were out there. So we saw a clear bull break this morning. We'll look at that in just a moment on Bitcoin, and there was a trade there this morning. I locked in that profit because it happened fairly quickly. We got overbought on shorter term timeframes, and we still had, a half dozen plus hours until the conference would even happen for Amazon, where the potential of them saying that Bitcoin would be added would be a potential. So we knew that it was very unlikely to happen. I put it at about 10%, 20% at most in terms of whether it was going to happen or not. So the hype that we saw with the market buying into that move in the morning was obviously some anticipation of that. So I preferred, after making that morning trade and locking in some profit, to be all cash and just have an order filled out. And knowing that, if the news were to come out, we're going to see a huge move in Bitcoin and my order will trigger and it'll put me in. Otherwise, we're going to see a little bit of a sell-off because the people in the morning that were buying in were looking for that, expected potential. So something with odds. I always calculate the odds of things happening because that's what I try and figure out what the market is thinking. So the odds of this Bitcoin move with Amazon were really low. And so the market priced it in a little bit, but that told me that if the move were to happen, the market would have seen a huge reaction to Bitcoin because it was so unlikely to happen. If something is likely to happen, the market has most likely priced it in. If it is not likely to happen, the market has not really priced it in at all. And if it's a 50-50, then we have a little bit of both and we react in whichever direction it does occur because the rest of the market is catching up, so to speak. So that's my point on news. It's definitely worth being aware of. It was definitely worth listening to the call to be, have a buy order filled out to just press the enter button because that's the news where it's just all in no matter what. And another news, if somewhere on the U.S. stock exchange, if we get an ETH ETF, that's a just all in instantly news. And then you make your decision on when to exit from there. But that's the kind of news where you just want a position. There's going to be a lot of hype and buying behind it. And the sooner you can get in, the better. But of course, nothing played out. And anybody that was expecting it to was disappointed. So I'm going to look at things here, the big three and then OMG, and we're going to look on the weekly time frames. We're going to look at a little bit longer perspective because besides Bitcoin today, not really much is going on. So things are slowing down. We've got Bitcoin with an inside bar on the weekly time frame. It's been an extremely strong move, and why I do not believe this is a bubble is because we are stair-stepping our way up and making significant progress and higher lows. We're seeing all kinds of volatility on these pullbacks, but it is healthy longer term. And at this point, for it to be a bubble, there's going to have to be some very, very negative news in order to just give back all of the action that we've seen. We are going to keep looking for higher lows and higher highs. Once we set a lower high on the weekly, then we'll start to make note and be cautious of the entire cryptocurrency space because, again, this entire cryptocurrency space could enter a one-year downtrend for all we know. And we want to be careful and protect against that and be cash if that does happen. But as of right now, there's no signal that that's happening on any time frame, and we're just going to be cautious and keeping an eye out for it. So Bitcoin on the daily is still very healthy, and right now we're looking at another higher low being set on the daily. So we had our consolidation, our low at 51.02, higher high, higher low at 53.76, and now we're going to watch to see if we form an equilibrium or how we play out from here. We have a high of resistance at 61.89 and our low of 53.77. That is the range to be watching. It is a potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern, but it is very early in development. That's the left shoulder. That's the head. That would be the right shoulder if we were to pull back, and the neckline breaking would be 53.77, that higher low. That would be the bear signal because we would then go from higher lows and higher highs to a lower high and a lower low. That's the reversal of the pattern. But again, I'm not seeing any signs of any of what I'm talking about. I'm just telling you what's going through my mind and what I am keeping an eye out for to protect my capital. So right now, the bulls are still just fine. We saw the bullish reversal candlestick. We confirmed it and saw some significant follow through. Our resistance on the high of this move right now is 6,000 on the dot. Nice psychological round resistance number. We look at the 4-hour time frame. This is still healthy consolidation. There was no dump. There was a short-term sell-off, you know, when it didn't look like Bitcoin was happening with Amazon, but only on the 5 and 15-minute time frames. This is very healthy consolidation on the 4-hour. This is a bull flag potential with long lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. So we're looking still at that 6,000 resistance level, but if we break 57.85, that would tell me that we are going to pull back more significantly and that we're not going to break 6,000 anytime soon. So that's the tighter range to be watching, the more details that we get from zooming in. And we can even look at the hourly and see that the bulls are trying to show back up and make their way back towards 6,000. We'll see if we get a bull MACD cross. So bulls are still fine for Bitcoin. There was no dump. There was no panic, again, because that news was not expected to happen. The market was not pricing it in significantly. In terms of the bull move this morning, let's zoom into the 15-minute time frame and see that play out. So we got really tight, and on the drawing lines over here. So on the 15-minute time frame, we hit our high, and then we consolidated. We built a base of support down here, 57.30, 57, or make that 57.01. 57.01 was multiple bottoms here. So that was our base of support. It touched multiple times, and we had a clear lower high pattern. So as soon as we broke this lower high pattern with resistance of 57.48 and 49, might as well call it 57.50. Let's just move this line down here. That was a wall of resistance. So we were in this channel. These are 15-minute candlesticks. So we were in this channel for about 3 or 4 hours, and we had a clear bull break. And after that little short-term bull break, we had inside tighter volume spike where everybody jumped in, and we saw a big bull move. And I was a little bit late. I got in on this break right here of 57.93, or 57.95 was that high. So I got in on that break and rode it for about $100 and started locking in my profit in the $5,900 range. And that candlestick that did make it up to 6,000 did not last long, but really nice gains, just a $100+ flip. And then again, back to cash so I could be protective, knowing that it was unlikely for the news to happen, but ready in case it did. So that was the morning play, and that was enough to lock in the gains on the day and have a good day. And now just being patient and knowing that the bulls are in control still, and watching to see if we can make our way back to 6,000 overnight. Checking in on Ethereum on the weekly time frame. And this equilibrium pattern, again, I'm not in the business of predicting things and trying to say we're going to be at this price and guess, you know, in 10 weeks or by the end of the year, $20,000. That's not what I do. I like to, you know, give the odds of what I think is most likely to happen and then take it a day at a time. There's no need for me to guess what's going to happen 2 weeks in advance when I can adjust my analysis every single day. So we have this equilibrium pattern that is playing out, and we started anticipating this right here on this candlestick under 400. We were anticipating this equilibrium pattern to play out, and that's just because I've seen it play out so many times in the stock market on every time frame, and the volatility that we saw on the weekly just made it likely to happen. As soon as this upper wick started forming, I said this looks like a lower high, and I think we're going to see an equilibrium pattern play out. So we have our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, and the bulls are hoping that this low of 275.46 is our new higher low. So the weekly range that I'm watching is that low and this high of 350. So the range continues to shrink up each time we make a new level, and right now that range is at $75 that we are within. So if we were to see some green follow through and get back in the $300 range, then that would make it more likely that this is our higher low, and we're going to see a clear break sometime within the next month of this tightening pattern. This pattern is going to be such a beauty when it breaks because it's going to give us, this is a weekly time frame, it's going to give us direction and momentum for the coming couple of months. And it's going to be a really nice signal. So we're patiently watching it. The daily time frame, very tight. Inside bar after inside bar after inside bar. So an inside or a big mother bar with a wide range, inside bar, currently another inside bar that's only 35 minutes old. A break of 293.81 is bearish. A break of 299.95 is bullish. We look at the 4-hour time frame to show this tightening range. There's the breakout and very tight. Not a lot of action going on. If you have money sitting in Ethereum and you're a trader, it's just stagnant money. It's just sitting there and it's not doing anything. And you're better off playing Bitcoin today with multiple opportunities for both a breakout and then a 5-minute, 15-minute oversold bounce this afternoon. So Ethereum, that's what we're looking at. Really just those daily inside bars is all I would be concerned with, and I would not have any interest in playing Ethereum unless we see a bull break of that inside bar. Checking in on Litecoin on the weekly time frame. It's a bit of a different setup with our high and our low and our lower high, but it's not as clear an equilibrium pattern as Ethereum is. It's similar. It's worth watching in the same way. Key resistance is 69.59, and right now key support, I'm looking down at really 48.15, the low of this candlestick. But the daily time frame is what I want to be looking at for some more details, and I can see that after this bull break, the bulls are trying to establish a higher low and turn things back around, because our low was 48.15. We have a higher low at 52.45, but the bulls need to hold this level. Look at this 52.90, 52.45, 52.50. So the bulls are defending the $52 level, and they need to turn things around and see a bull break. Ideally, first bull break would be 57.16, the high of this little attempt, and then up to 59.19 after that. So Litecoin, more correlated to Bitcoin, just in general, I should say. But Bitcoin has been having more volatility, so I would rather be trading Bitcoin than Litecoin right now where we stand, as Litecoin is still a bit indecisive on these time frames. The 4-hour chart, again, it's tightening up. We have our low, high, higher low, lower high, tight range. So if you wanted to zoom in even more detail, 53.55 is support, and resistance is up here at 57.16. That's the range that I would be watching in the shorter term on Litecoin. And if you want to use the hourly, you can see that we lost the higher low pattern here, so we might have a little shift in momentum back towards the bears, but it's really that 4-hour time frame that would have me watching this channel. And if you wanted to even tighten it up even more, we have this support of 54.75. So that's what I'm watching on the big three. Again, not forcing anything. Got the trade this morning and being very patient. Bitcoin is bullish. I would be comfortable in a bullish position. I am not currently in a bullish position, but if I see an opportunity to get in one, if I were looking at the 15-minute time frame here, perhaps 58.73 would be my stop level, or I would use this little consolidation low of 58.70. But just being very patient, OMG, on the weekly time frame. Bulls are trying to build a base of support at 691. 2 weeks in a row of 691 low and then 703. So it's very clear bulls are defending those supports. And we did make a bull break this week. We had a clear lower high pattern the past month or so, and the bulls broke that, but they didn't really see much follow through, and the volume's not there. And whenever you see a break, you need the volume to go along with it to be a believer. Volume is my prove it indicator, and I need the bulls to prove it with volume on a bull break, and we didn't see that on OMG. So it's a very clear lower high pattern over this time frame. We have 1155, 960, and now 871 with this horizontal base of support and this double low at 691. So a break of 691 is a clear bear break, and at this point, a break of 871 is a bull break. That's all I would be watching right now, the daily time frame. I don't even really need to zoom in more because the 4-hour time frame is not going to give me any details that would have me want to enter. It would give me a support level. If I were looking to enter, I would use this support of 739. I could see another support of 703. But in terms of swing positions, it's really all about this daily chart, and there is no entry unless you're in the low $7 range and you're using a bottom fishing play where you would get stopped out if 691 were to break, or on a bull break of this lower high pattern with volume behind it. Again, it's very important that that volume is there. So that's where we stand on all three of these names and OMG. And this weekend, we're going to go live on Sunday. We've got the alert system. We're going to have 5 new indicators, and that's going to be looking forward to that, having some nice new alerts to be adding to the general basic 3 that we currently have. And it's going to be RSI, MACD, and inside bars, which we currently have. And we're going to be adding all different kinds of other alerts and some that we have created on our own in terms of alerting us when there's trading opportunity, because again, that's the goal. And I think that we're doing a good job of creating these indicators because I want these indicators to help, ease my trading burden and make me alert of things. So knowing what kind of signals I want to see on a chart, it's really easy to create these indicators and saying, okay, what would be the most beneficial for me? I don't have to put myself in anyone else's shoes. I'm already in my own shoes. So looking forward to that on Sunday. It'll be Sunday night at about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We'll make it official sometime soon. And I will see you then, or before then, or never.